Hey, what's up, my friends? And it is Monday today. And hey, Ben, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's cold outside, which means a lot of the boys' energy is being used in my living room right now. So, but it's Monday, and we're going to kind of get life going in the right direction. And so for me, that means doing some meal prep as much as I can for this week. It just makes my life so much smoother the rest of the week. And if I'm going to be doing that, if I'm going to be cooking anyways, I'm going to make 2 and put 1 in the freezer. These meals, if they're going into the freezer, have to be tested, and I know that they work out well for that. So I did a Mexican lasagna and enchilada with corn tortillas, and they do not freeze very well. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it gives you motivation to get going for you. I have all that meat that I bought with my once a month shopping trip that I still haven't used yet. We just haven't needed it. So we're going to start with that. We're going to ground some of that up and put 2 taco casseroles in the freezer. We're going to make 2 taco casseroles, 1 for the freezer and 1 for this week. And we are going to, I'm going to turn blue again. And we're going to have 1 more for something. I gotta remember what I was going to do with it. Taco soup. So lots of tacos with 1-3 pounds, but you know what? Taco stuff is fantastic and everybody loves it. So that's what we're going to do, is just browning the meat, making my pasta for that, and then I'm going to make that taco soup. I'm just going to actually get all that prepped and put it in the freezer. Okay, my friends, this was a very interesting roll of turkey. I have never seen it so white, and it's just not crumbling like it used to. Like, it's all just like solid. It's very weird. Especially for a more fatty content. I don't know. I have no thoughts. It's just not crumbling like it does. I have a feeling the quality of meat here is just a little bit lower than what I'm used to. But I forgot I had already made another batch of taco seasoning, so didn't have to do that. So this is 3 pounds of ground turkey with the appropriate seasoning added to, and we are just cooking that up here. I've got some water boiling for the macaroni. I don't have one of those fancy like Ziploc bag holders because this works just fine, and most of the time I don't even have this. I just use my hand and a kid. We're going to prop you up on the peanut butter jar. But this works just fine, and I need that meat to cool down before I add it to this. But I got label what you're cooking. Your future self will thank you. Okay, so this is just going to be a taco soup. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And I found some canned meat on sale at Walmart the other day, and so we're just gonna pop that in. The thing about taco soup is it's pretty easy to do with just simple cans. It's pretty simple to do, but it also can, you can make it from scratch. Just you're gonna need to have the proper ingredients done. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but anyways, some things that I like in my taco soup. I don't have any canned pinto beans, so that is not going to happen. The best canned tomatoes, to use for that is like Mexican diced tomatoes. I like to do that. Man, I'm low on my diced tomatoes. Must have used more this week. Okay. So, this isn't going to be necessarily the way I would normally make it. Pinto beans are a huge part of it, but I don't have any. So let's get going on this. So for this, I've got some black beans, I have some red beans, and it's good to have like 2 cans of pinto beans. I don't have any, I have some white northern beans that we're going to use. And then I like to put a can of diced olives, a can of mushrooms, can of diced tomatoes, and then when I go to put this in the Instapot or slow cooker or whatever, I'll just add between 3 and 4 cups of chicken broth. That's usually approximately the right amount. Just depends on how soupy you like it. With the beans, I rinse them, drain and rinse them. With the tomato, I do not. Just dump the whole can in there. And then one thing I always do is I'll take a little bit of water, kind of rinse the can out, and then I'll pour it in. That always adds a little bit extra water. And then I will drain the mushrooms as well. I picked these up from Walmart. They were on clearance for $5 a piece for a 6-pack of olives, which is amazing because these days finding a can of olives for $1 is really good. And olives are our family staple. Can of olives. To this, even though I have taco meat, one thing we learned is that we like a little extra taco. So there's about 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning. And then, like I said, you would just put this in a crock pot with some like chicken broth, bone broth if you got all that extra bone broth still. And anyway, I got the taco soup ready. Gonna, as soon as this meat is a little cooled down, I'll use the meat. But right now the water is ready to get my pasta going. I'm going to take a little bit from each of these because the taco casserole I'm making doesn't need 12 ounces. But I don't have a way to measure. But I'm going to take a 1/4 cup of each one and add it to this. Because that was actually one thing that we really found that we liked. Is a little bit of elbow macaroni in it. And then if I do this, definitely 4 cups of chicken broth. Because it will add a little bit more, I think. So that doesn't look like... So it must be a 1/2 cup that I take from each one. Or a 1/3. That was more like a 1/3. And then 1 meal done. But this one's going to go in the freezer. So, taco soup for the freezer. It will be used up this month. I don't have like a printable to share with you guys because I'm very simple. But one thing that I do... And when I said I don't have a printable, it means I didn't make this. I found this online. But like freezer inventory, obviously these are all gone. But we'll just go like this. This is like all the way back in February. But it's just a freezer inventory sheet that I found online. And I'm just going to put what I have in there now. So I know I've got a taco soup. I'm just going to put it on here, and then during December, which is tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I can start planning my week and figuring out. Taco soup is usually what we do every Christmas Eve, so it might be saving for that, because you know how crazy Christmas Eve gets. That'll be good to throw in the crock pot. So this is all the stuff that I had actually wanted to do at the beginning of November, was to do a day like this. I just never got around to it. Just life, y'all. So now that it's like the beginning of December, it's a new month, and you know, before I do like a really big once a month grocery shopping trip, which I've done a little bit so far, I am kind of still using up some of the stuff I had gotten last month for this, just because we never ended up with it. I had all that ground beef meals that I was making. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. So I have a taco soup ready. Cooled down pretty quickly. It must be cold in here if that cooled down that fast. And I actually want it, I kind of want to freeze it like this, because then that will fit in my Instapot. Just pop it in a bowl of warm water to kind of loosen it, pop it in the Instapot, and then I can do it that way. Emma! So, they're outside. I think they're trying to find you. So one thing I have here is, look, all of my November meals. So I'm kind of going through here and being like, okay, what did we not get done? So I know that I have the things for it. So I'm kind of just using that. Brain just failed me. Using this to kind of plan this and go on, because I know I have the stuff for it. So today is, we're going to say 11/29. And I have a taco soup for the freezer, and I will also have for the freezer, which means for later date, I will have a taco casserole. And both of those, I just know that they freeze well, which is why I'm doing them. My kids have gone crazy. Anyway. Goodness. My mom sent me a bunch of these. I used these so many years ago, and I've never purchased any. So I just made a menu for this week based off of what I know we still have, and I will need, I'm completely out of eggs, and one of the meals that I want to make, I have everything but basil for, and nobody in my town has it. I have to go to Walmart, which is the next town over, so I know I'm going to have to make that trip at some point. I need spinach. I have none. Actually, I do have spinach. I do not need spinach. I need to use what little spinach that came up in our garden. So I'll do that. So I need eggs, basil, and a cream of mushroom soup to make one green bean casserole for my daughter. It's just, if I make a baked chicken, we're going to have a green bean casserole. And my daughter knows it's coming, and she's happy. And that's what we're going to do. Yep, so here's what I have kind of figured out. Tonight, I already have dinner going in the crock pot. It is a freezer meal. It is the salsa verde tacos that Julia Pancakes has on her channel. So that's what I have going on here. The pasta's done. The meat is cooled. So we're going to assemble our easy taco bake. I'll leave the recipes down below. I came up with this so I know what we're going to need to purchase and make. So I'm going to get started on this. I know I don't have the sour cream that I need for this meal, but I have a whole thing of ricotta cheese, and we're just going to use that. So that's what I'm going to get started on right. I need my stand. I'm just not going to go get it. So, because I'm lazy. I'm tired, you guys. Babysitting today has been really fun. Okay, apparently, I don't know where anything is. So, here we go. I added the taco meat. I got a whole bunch of these free from a food truck. So this is the spaghetti sauce I'm going to use for today. Okay, this looks really soupy to me to add to here because this seems a little, I guess so. I guess we'll do that. So then we're going to add that. And then you kind of just mix this up. And then it needs an 8 ounce. This is a 30 ounce. So to double it, I would need 16, but I'm not doubling it. So 8 ounces is about a cup. So let's just add a cup to this. Yeah, that one. Oh, wait, no, but I gotta do this because this is double. This in here is double. Alright, hold on, there we go. About half of that. stir this anymore. So for this one, I'm just going to top it with the cheese, put the lid on it, put it in my fridge, and we're going to eat that, what, Wednesday, I believe? Wednesday? Tuesday? Tomorrow? Friday? We're eating it Thursday. So that one's done. I want to make another one, and we're going to have it ready for the freezer. Same kind of thing. Okay, the next two things we're going to do, brown this up for egg roll in a bowl. And get tuna cakes going. I'm not using this book as much as I used to, but there's still a couple of recipes that I still pull from this all the time. And one of them is that recipe. But I have tweaked it over the years to make it work for our family. So I'll share that with you because it's loosely based off of that. It's not based off of that really anymore. But in here I have 4 cans of tuna. And I'm going to add 2 eggs to this. I'm going to add 1 onion. I'm going to add half a cup of this to it. And then about 2 to 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. I add lots of dill and cilantro and a lime, like juice of lime in here, some salt and pepper, and that's pretty much all that I do. The dill and the cilantro is what really makes it, and sometimes I don't have cilantro. I don't think I actually do today, but I know I have dill, and so dill for sure, your egg, this, some onion, some mayo, and then we're going to make patties and cook it. This meat is all done for later, so we're going to move on to the next, or we're going to get this done and going, and then that's all ready for egg roll in a bowl. One of the reasons I like doing this weekly meal prep is because then you kind of are forced to go through your fridge and make sure that you've got room and all that kind of stuff for this. Well, in so doing, I found also in our food truck this past week, we got a ton of asparagus. These are 2-pound bags, and I got 6 of them. So that was pretty exciting. And I still have 3 2-pound bags of 3 2-pound bags of broccoli in the back fridge that I completely forgot about. So with this asparagus, one of the things that my husband really loves is beef asparagus stir fry or something like that. He loves it. You cook some beef up, you kind of soak it in some wine, and you just eat it and have fun with all that. So I am trying to figure out what would be a good meal to kind of cut out and do that one instead. And I came up with the egg roll in a bowl. So the pork is all cooked, or the meat for that is all cooked for later. And I'm just going to actually put this in the freezer here. Maybe if I have room. And then I can, and then I can make it another day. Do that instead, and then I'll get some beef out to make this other dish instead. Again, it's one of the reasons why I like to kind of clean it out. Going right now, my son had pulled this out of the freezer. They're bratwurst, like patties instead of sausages. And he pulled one out and had it for lunch. I picked this up at our, this is locally made, and I picked it up at our local community market, which is more like overpriced food because it's smaller, but it's local, and they just charge more. So if you need like last minute stuff, you can get it here. It's kind of what I picture like the old markets being, because there's limited. Anyway, they had this sausage on sale. It's a local meat place, but they had it, this brats, on sale for $1.50 for 4 patties. And so I picked it up thinking I could cook it up and then it could be like in the fridge when my kids need like a protein to eat during, you know, the afternoon. That's cheaper than protein bars that you pay $1 a piece for. And I got, you know, $1.50 for 4. So that's kind of what I was doing. But anyway, it means that I need to cook up the rest of these. He cooked one up at lunch to have with his grilled cheese. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on here. And as I was making this tuna patties and cleaning out the fridge and all, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I always add a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and I always add a little bit, like a dollop of mustard. I only do that much because the kids just are not big mustard eaters. So I do a little bit. Haven't added the dill yet, but yeah, it's just something that I've adapted from this book. And it's probably one of our favorites from this book. Probably the best, pretty much the only way we eat tuna now, just because, you know, gluten-free bread is so expensive. And this is like a $4 meal just by itself, you know, with the can of tuna that you get. We're just going to turn these into patties and cook those up as soon as that's done. It is just after 5, and I have a couple of kids that have catechism tonight. So they're going to need to eat and run and go to catechism class. So I'm just going to start shredding that and getting that ready. Probably cooking some broccoli or something to go with that. And then I'll show you what else we do to kind of prepare for this week. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to have oatmeal pancakes. This is a recipe that my mother-in-law had given me years ago. And it's one of my kids' favorites. So I'd need to double that for our family. And yes, we do have extra, but if I don't double it, we don't have enough. So you're just going to do the night before. This is one that I need to prepare the night before. And I found this buttermilk when I went and got eggs for 59 cents. So that's going to be cheaper than using my almond milk. And so we're just going to do that. 59-cent buttermilk that needs to be used up today. And then we're just going to kind of mix all that up to get it going. While I have this going, over there, I have the tuna cakes cooking. We ended up doing green bean casserole to go with our dinner tonight. And I think my son wants some sweet potatoes, so I'm going to put some sweet potatoes in the Instapot. And then when those are done, I'm going to get my pinto beans going in the Instapot. Alright, so let me show you what this looks like. Often, because I always forget to get this soaking the night before. So, go me. So all I need to do is just cover this with a flour sack towel and set it aside, and then we do the rest of this tomorrow. And in the description box below, I'll have all the information on that. So here's what these look like. These will be all ready for tomorrow. This always takes the longest, which is why I don't make it that often. So I'm doing all the stuff that I don't make that often, and why it wasn't made, as you can tell. Get make it yet. Okay, so what's the secret to cast iron? Because one of the things that my husband and I thought about cast iron is that everything cooks evenly, and that's why cast iron is so great. Yeah, mine doesn't. But that being said, look how big this thing is. Let's move that one there and this here. So that's where I am right now. I'm going to get the sweet potatoes going, and we'll check in a minute. You're getting real life hot mess mama here. Laundry going. Washer's making his presence known. Polar Express train going on in the background. And over there, 2 giggly girls. But we need to eat, so I need to kind of wrap this up for you, tell you what's going on here, tell you what we're still going to do, and yeah, let's get going. So, like I said, I need to get this put away so we can, eat. So, I have 1 taco casserole going into the freezer. I have 1 taco soup going into the freezer. And I have the stuff to throw a shepherd's pie into the freezer. I'm sorry, to make a shepherd's pie. And that's going to replace another meal later this week, and I'll show you. I have meat thawing for stuff that we're going to do tonight, or this week. And, over here I've got some peppers cut up for tomorrow's lunch, which is the finished tuna cakes here. So that is all ready to go. I have pasta cooked. I'm going to throw these 2 open things of pesto pasta in there. I also have a little bit of the pasta left from the taco casserole, and that has some cheese, and that will help. This is the chickpea pasta, and I think that's going to go really well with what I have going on here for a meal. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Like I said, we need to eat now. This is so good. This is Julia Pancakes. It's in her freezer meal, and it is delicious. So I'll leave that down below. That is one that you put in your mouth and it just waters. So I have that. I have green bean casserole, and I have a whole bunch of recycling to go out. Those are all the cans and stuff. So washed them, have to put them in the right recycling box. We have some sweet potatoes. 15 minutes was not enough. I did another 8, and that looks just about right. I'm going to go take care of all that, put all that away, and I'll get back to you sometime later tonight. Oh, breakfast is over there. Okay, we're going to wrap up today's meal prep, and I'm going to share with you what I have gotten done right here. And now I have the kitchen mostly cleaned up. We're ignoring this right now. And in here I have the beans soaking for the night, and I'll start those in the morning, or rinse and start them. I'm not going to get to taking that out to the compost. Oh well. We'll probably cut a little bit of that off for le bonnet. But anyway, that's done. I took out what was left from dinner, and I don't have a use for it for the rest of this week, even for leftovers on Sunday. So I just put it all in here, and I can use this another time. So that'll just go into the freezer. Added that to this little sheet. Going over a few things that I changed out. I made that pasta, and so I'll add some sausage here. I took it out and put it in there, but I also have it over here. So I'll need to pull out another one, and we're just going to have it twice this week, especially since I didn't really use it at all over here this month. I know it's on here somewhere. Gin pesto, right there. And I didn't get to it, so we'll just have it twice this week. So, and there's plenty of the pasta for that, because I have a couple kids that don't like this, so they just tend to eat whatever side is there or pick out what they want. We made a change here. We're going to do a shepherd's pie here, and we're going to do the beef asparagus instead of egg roll in a bowl. And for here, I might even do beef broccoli, because the beef I took out is a ton, And so, and since we have all that broccoli too, we might do beef broccoli together. So, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.